Palumbo here with another RX Muscle news update. Rubiel Mosqueira, aka Neckzilla, has decided he is going to compete in the NPC, try to earn his pro card so that he can compete in the Ifbb Pro League and eventually one day make it to the Mr. Olympia competition. Something we've seen happen before with our good friend Michael Krizo. Krizo did just that last year, competed in an NPC Pro qualifier, turned pro, did a Ifbb Pro event, won that, and wound up at the Olympia all in the same year. Pretty impressive if you ask me. Andrew Jacked did the same thing. So I think the question is, will Rubiel be a force to be reckoned with right off the bat? Well, if you look at his pictures, I mean, he looks like, upper body wise at least, to me, he looks just like Max Charles, a young Max Charles, but he's got the legs to match his upper body. And I think, we always said if Max Charles was able to bring his legs up to match that insane upper body he has, no one would ever beat him. Well, Rubiel might be that guy. I mean, this guy has got width, like an airplane. His shoulders are huge, and they're capped, and they're wide. He's got a good taper to him with a smaller waist. He's got these big, beefy quads, crazy glutes and hams and calves. I mean, he really doesn't, he's not missing any body parts whatsoever. The question is, will he be able to get in crazy, crazy striated, conditioning on stage? If he can do that, this guy can go all the way. Will he win an Olympia? That would be premature to try to predict something like that. We haven't even seen him stand on an IFBB Pro stage yet, much less next to a top Olympian. But just from evaluating him from what I can see in the pictures here, the guy has a lot of mass on his body. He doesn't seem to have many weaknesses. And, that's something that, not a lot of guys have. When you look at the current crop of guys that are on the Olympia stage, you could pick apart each one of them and say, well, I wish this one had a little more height. I wish this one had a little bit more leg. Maybe this one had a better back. And Rubiel looks pretty balanced, but like I said, we haven't seen him standing next to the other guys. Bodybuilding is all about how you look next to people, okay? And you can look great alone, you can look great on your Instagram, and until you stand on that stage next to the top creme de la creme of the bodybuilding world, you just don't know where you stand. But it's exciting. I love to see new guys come out of the woodwork and all of a sudden materialize in the IFBB Pro League at some point and then change the landscape. Because, we think we know, oh, here's the players, where are they going to be shuffled this year? But when you get a new guy coming into the fray that you didn't even know existed, a new card in the deck, so to speak, it changes the dynamics, it changes our predictions, and it changes the look of the lineup. And a lot of times it forces guys to get better. And because if you're the best out there and all of a sudden someone else comes in who's might be better than you, you're going to work that much harder to look great. So I'm excited to see Rubiel enter the NPC and obviously get his pro card and then move on to the IFBB Pro ranks. I don't think he'll have any problem earning his pro card. And I don't think he's going to have any problem winning a pro show, especially some of those shows in Europe. I think once he gets to the Olympia, that's when the challenge will come. And it would be premature, once again, for me to predict how he's going to do at the Olympia because we just don't know. But I am really, really enjoying seeing guys like Andrew Jacked, Michael Krizo, Carlos Thomas Jr., who's doing his pro debut this year, guys like Joe Palacio, who comes out and wins the USA. These are guys, the new names coming into the fray constantly, and it's making the bodybuilding landscape exciting again. It reminds me of the 90s when all of these guys were turning pro, like Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, Mike Francois, one after the other, Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler. And it's like every year, it's like, who's going to be the new guy this year? Who's going to win the Night of Champions? Who's going to be the guy to beat at the Olympia? Will it be Rubiel Mosqueira? We will find out. Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle news update.